Somebody wants to speak to you, and Spirit is guiding you to say yes. I had this overwhelming, not in a bad way, go with me here, overwhelming sense of clarity as soon as I sat down. Even before, when I started setting up everything to film this reading, it's normally when I start getting my channels. And there's a person that feels like there's been enough negativity dispersed from their life. They feel confident in the way they feel about you. They don't care anymore about what will happen. They know they have to live in this moment. This person feels so protected to reach out to you. And that's the way they wanted me to really state it. Protected. That's the difference between this time. This time and the last you were together. Or the last time there was a misunderstanding, etc. Let's dive into this. Let's get the deets. What does Spirit have for me to know about your connection to this person? Alright, so Spirit's letting me know that you had to separate for further growth no matter what. The only way you were going to have a new beginning together was experiencing, separating for further growth. We have freedom of will. That's how we don't know right from the beginning if a separation or if we're going through things because it is to make us stronger. Freedom of will dictates not knowing anything before doing. And I know that can sound kind of contradictory what I just stated. But what Spirit's trying to give me with this download, because it's very intense in the best way. I feel myself like surfing through energy. Really keeping yourself on that wave, but the wave is of excitement, to be quite frank. You had so many people you had to experience in events that wouldn't have transpired if you didn't go into separation. It's not about thinking of why this stuff happened anymore. The person, their mindset connected to you is, I'm ready to pour into somebody's cup because I have myself together. They've had a lot of past life downloads regarding themselves. Yes, there are things that have completely been involved with you, but the whole separation was not... The separation was not to build a connection telepathically together. Go with me here. That is something that happened. That is a great thing that happened from the purpose of separation, but it wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to find yourselves. To remember your past lives. To remember why you decided to come here. And it doesn't mean you either have everything figured out, because that's not the point. The point of love is not to have everything figured out. Shadow work, going inwards, there is not a staple of like, oh, I have to be completely healed, this amount of shadow work, this amount of this amount of that, and then I'll be with somebody. That's not how this works. There is a certain amount of self-knowance and hermit mode and going inwards and shedding what no longer serves. That is imperative. But the next part is together. This human existence is not about being alone. People hurt you. People are all of your trauma stem from. So there comes to a point where people have to help heal you. This person sees that you're somebody that can help heal them. All they have to do is have the strength to bring you this forward movement. There's a balancing of scales, and it's not an egotistical thing. They have to reach out to me, or blah, blah, blah. Like your energy. Like there is a temperance. There is a balance of scales. Where your energy aligns with this person is the ball being in their court. They see this as a form of protection for a long time, but now they're seeing it as almost as a crutch. Because they know at this point you've gone through enough time of not what I see is you've gone through enough time, you may not even realize it, but something about the amount of time that you have gone not speaking has overpassed. I'm trying to word it the right way. Okay, so the amount of time you haven't talked this is the longest you've ever gone without trying. So it may be, if you looked back at the dates to when you last spoke to them, or etc., you had always reached back out, or etc., by a certain point. And what I'm hearing here, of course, it's collective text resonates. For a good portion of you, it's been about a year. This is the first time you went a full year without trying to contact them, or right around a year. And there was like this aha moment when that happened, that, okay, like within them, they're like, okay, like they really aren't going to come back unless I do something. A lot of these realizations have happened recently for them. And that's the thing with these downloads. As soon as they receive them, it's because Spirit's stating that they're ready for another step. There were some relationships they were trying to fight for that didn't serve anymore. And remember, these are collective takes for resonates. So some of this, there could have been another romantic person. Some of this could have been family members. This could have been even a challenging of faith, etc. These are collective, so you have to take what resonates with definitely that part. But the overall intensity, that's the same within your collective, is the fact of something that they were trying to hold on to, of solidification that the contract or the reason has been served. And a lot of freedom of will came into play with that. Meaning seeing all of the actions differently of everybody involved, themselves, the other individual or individuals, depending on the situation. And as soon as they quiet their mind and really have been able to focus so much on themselves, there's been this trickling effect now of you just continuously entering back into their mind. Even their feed is what they wanted me to state. So you guys could be friends on social media or not. Either way, it looks like they have some power in looking at what's going on in your life. And all I mean by power is there's a power source. It's not when I ask, can they reach you, that being shut off. Spirit's telling me that they can reach you in any way possible. Like phone, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc. There's multiple ways this person could reach out to you, and they're utilizing that power to see what's going on in your life. I don't see that as a cocky or selfish or a malevolent way at all. I see it as a comfort for them to know, to have some portion of existence in your life, even if it's only one way. But they're seeing that craft, that ability can advance. This person is ready to make everything happen for a reason, but they are still scared. They are still scared. Would you be willing to accept my offer? A lot of their worry and fear only stems from what ifs when it comes to you. And I'm not talking about other aspects of their life. I'm just talking about now specifically your connection, for why there hasn't been a complete aha reach out. What Spirit's stating for me is they're bringing you this secret. They're asking, they're alchemating to ask for a second chance redemption. But the thing is, it's not going to be coming in this way of, I'm sorry, you're going to have a second chance. Like, you guys are going to be progressive. No one person is ever wrong in most situations. Don't get me wrong. If we're going into like forms of, and this isn't you guys, but I just want to remind you guys with this representation what I'm stating. The other dynamics, if you experience mental, physical, or other types of abuse, that's a very different story, with it being one person to blame, okay? But when we're talking about everything else, misunderstandings, assumptions, being irrational, etc., there's always a two-wayness with those types of dynamics. And that's what's going to happen with this. What I see is they're going to tell you the truth of, I am afraid. This is why I separated from you. This was more than you. The separation was not just because of you. There was a lot of other factors. And they realized from all their other factors, they couldn't be with you at that moment. Not even your life, not even as a friend. There had to be a separation, but the times have changed. You can have fruition. You can talk about the reality. You can talk about the fears, the past, but be progressive about it. You're not trauma dumping, and you're not trauma bonding. You're embracing the masculine side within yourself, no matter how you identify. We all have masculine and feminine energy. Our masculine is our willpower, go-getter attitude, self-composure. And I see both people in this individual. I see this individual, no matter who they are in that dynamic, is embracing that willpower to do the leap of faith and jump. They're not afraid of you. They feel protected to reach out to you. The only thing that's making them scared or afraid, or however we resonate, is the what if of where things will go. But they know they can't know that anymore. And they know it's going to drive themselves crazy. If the ball's in their court and the only reason you're not reaching out to each other, that you're not in each other's life, is because they put you in that position, that's why they can't go forth. It would be different if you guys both had just gone through enough together and realized, yo, I really like this person, but it's just not going to work. There would be a difference if it was that versus they put you in a position to not be able to reach out to them. That's why they are like, I got to figure out what the fuck is going on with this, no matter what. It's time to thrive. There's no comparison how you guys were in the past. You're going to reflect to move forward together. That's what I got for y'all today. Now let's talk about the Bali trip. June 2025. I have my next Trova trip to Bali. It's going to be a 7-day retreat full of so much chilling. I'm also going to be working, or I'm going to have a workshop one of the days where I teach everybody who feels called to join how to use divination tools, which involves tarot cards, runes, incense, candles, pendulums, and so much more. Divination just means the tools you use to connect to spirits' messages, etc. As well as personal readings for every single person that feels called to have one. Those two things are completely optional, but every single person is going to experience not only the connection to Bali and me, but to found family, the other people that join. Those are people part of your collectives. If you're feeling called to join, I highly suggest you get on it. I only have one early bird spot still available. That one early bird spot takes $200 off the trip. Once that's claimed, all of the rest of the spots are going to go to the normal pricing. All you need to do to reserve your spot is put a 25% down deposit on the trip. After that, you can make split payments as you are called to all the way into 2025. Just as an example, if you were to put that down deposit down, and then you chose to pay the rest of it off within 9 months, every single month you would be paying around, depending on if you claim that early bird spot or if you get it after that last spot is claimed, right around $170 a month to have the entire trip paid for. 9 months of spending that. If you are called to join, and it is in your ability at this time in your life too, this is a life-changing experience. Any questions you have, do not hesitate to send me an email at contact@offprintmint.com. I'm happy to answer any messages and direct you any right way you feel called. Also, the trip site is located on any of my social media platforms, meaning Instagram, YouTube, etc. And also the link is posted on my website as well. So any form of that media, you can find the link to the trip. That's what I got for y'all today. And I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.